Bonjour et bienvenue pour un autre Solana tutorial. That's all the French I can say for you. Hello and welcome to another Solana tutorial. Well, maybe more of a Andy's talking about interesting stuff that's happening in the Solana ecosystem and that he's super excited about. I'm here at the Paris Hacker House. Yes, you can tell by, that thing. And it's quite hot outside. It's already like 35 degrees. It's gonna be 40 today. And I'm just here to have my cereal. And then we're gonna move inside for some actual hacking. Oh, today I want to speak about the Token Program 2022. So, an extension of the Token Program. Well, actually a new Token Program that works with extensions, right? So you can have all sorts of cool features additionally to the Token Program. And I'm super excited about that because that opens up a lot of new use cases. Problem is, even though it's already deployed on dev test and mainnet, it's not documented yet and it's also not audited yet. So I would not recommend that you use it for production, but you can definitely use it for playing around, like we do today. But inside, because goddamn it's hot. Okay, let's go. There are people sitting here, there are people sitting here. I kind of like it. Now I'm too bright, now I'm too dark. That kind of looks cool. Yeah, we use that. Cool, so let's get this party started. Although, we're very close to the coffee machine, which is loud. Anyway, there's always something going on here at the Hacker House, so you'll have to just deal with whatever comes up. So, cheers. Yeah, this time no water out of cans. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the internet. You can find all sorts of interesting things here, like the SPL, let's write it out, Solana Programming Library. So, because this programming library contains the SPL-Token library. Solana Programming Library Token. SPL-Token, in case you didn't know that. So, Token Program consists of a bunch of libraries and programs, and there's not only the Token Program that we all know and love, because it's literally what I started with. Here, my first ever video on Solana was on the Token Program, or the CLI for it. And there's not just the Token Program here, there's also the Token Program 2022. Last commit 9 days ago. Work in progress. 2022 has some extensions. And that, my friends, is where stuff gets interesting. Let's go through them. We have the confidential transfer, which, as the name might suggest, adds a layer of privacy to this, right? There are CK something somethings. Hold on. Also in this repo you can find, if we go one up, you can find the CK token protocol paper. If you're interested, Joe was suggesting to me to check this out. I didn't yet, and I'm not going to, at least not yet. But they have to extend the size of transactions such that they can put the CK proofs in there somehow. And that's not yet released or not yet finished, I don't know. So that's not working yet. But the rest of the other things, that's already working. It's already deployed on mainnet. Well, how did I find out about that? By talking to people here. For instance, I talked to Joe of Solana Labs, and he was telling me about this, because that's what he's working on. And yeah, there is no documentation for this yet, but there's the source code. And in my opinion, the source code is already a form of documentation, so we don't need anything else. We can just read the source. Again, extensions. Confidential transfer. Default account state. So you can do something like, when a new token account is created, it has a default state. For instance, per default, it's frozen so that nobody can, send tokens out anymore. Or what other use cases could I think of? What else is in account state? Can I think of anything else? I think that's it. Interest-bearing mint. That could be interesting for some people who do DeFi stuff. If you're familiar with Aave, that's how they do their token. They're not on Solana, but that's how we would do something like that on Solana, where essentially the token gets more over time, without you, receiving tokens in the sense of receiving a transfer, but the token number just gets inflated. That you would do with this interest-bearing mint. Then there's the Memo Transfer, which essentially is a flag on the account as well, so the token account, not on the mint, but on the account, where you can only receive if it also has a memo. So you can only send to that token account if you put a memo in. Andy, how did you find out about all of this without reading the source code first? Well, I talked to people. I talked to Joe in particular. That's the cool thing about coming to a hacker house like this. You get to know so much stuff that is happening in the Solana ecosystem. But Joe doesn't want to talk about it on YouTube. I do. So he does his thing, the coding and all the hard work, and I take all the credit. No, I don't take all the credit. Of course, I didn't do that. But I shall tell you, and then you give me the credit for telling you. That's how we do it. No, I don't need your credit. The only credit I need is my freaking bank account. So that's the memo. What are actual use cases for that? You can think of something. I don't know. Maybe voting could be in that sense, where you have to send the token in order to do your vote, and in the memo you say who you vote for or some shit. Or maybe just as a note for someone, or maybe as a messaging system where the other person gets paid for each message they receive. Something like that, where we have to pay for each message that is sent. And then, and I think that's what people are going to be most excited about, transfer fee. You can add a transfer fee to a token mint. So whenever you send the token, there is a fee. And people have been asking me about that a lot, actually. How do you implement that? And I was like, well, you gotta write your own token program, because the transfer is done by the token program, and you don't have any control over that. But with a transfer fee extension of the token program 2022, you now get control over that. Or well, the person who controls the token, So you can now definitely do that. And that's exciting. I have people in the corner of my frame. All right. What else is there? There's the Immutable Owner. I don't remember exactly what that was about. Essentially, I think you cannot change the token owner of a token account. Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, by the way, fun fact. Another thing that I learned just by listening to presentations here. When we speak of token owner, that's usually what is called an authority in most other cases, like the closed authority, the mint authority. It's always an authority. And here it would be the transfer authority. But in the early stages, they called it the owner. So in the actual token program state, the mint, that's a mint. And then the other thing is the account. Where is that account? So there, the owner of the account is the public key who needs to sign in order to send tokens out of this account, right? So in a way, this is the transfer authority. So whenever you name something in your programs, try to call it authority and not owner, because the owner of an account is actually, the program, in this case, the token program that owns the actual account, the Solana account, right? That's a bit of a naming issue that we run in here. But to be backwards compatible, it's still called owner here, even though we might just call it the transfer authority. But anyhow, immutable owner just means immutable transfer authority, which means if you create a token account with this immutable owner, then you can't change the owner of that. He gave me examples to when that is important. I think when you do it with PDAs and you need to guarantee that it's not whatever, I can't remember. But there are use cases for that. Possibly pretty niche, but there are definitely use cases, otherwise they won't implement it. Then another one that excites me, mint close authority. This allows you to close a mint account. So as we had here, this is for each token account. So whenever you hold some amount of tokens, you need to have the token account. But each token just once has the mint account, where it describes who is allowed to mint, what is the supply, what are the decimals, is it initialized, and can it be frozen. And that account can never be closed in the normal token program. It just can't. Once you created a token, it will be there forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever? Yes. forever ever. And therefore, if you accidentally send some Sol to that mint account, which you might think doesn't happen, but happens a lot actually. Like, I had at least 5 people ask me on my Discord, hey, I accidentally sent money there, how can I recover it? And I had to tell them, well, you can't. You just can't. No way you can close that. So if you send it to the token account, then you can, but not to the token mint account. And that thing, the closable mint, will allow you to do that. Now the bad news is, for token accounts of the regular token program, so all of them right now, it's still not possible to close them in the future because they were created with the normal token program. But with the token program 2022, you can set that mint close authority such that that authority, so whoever you set as the authority, can then close the token, so essentially delete the token again. Yeah, that might be useful when you just create a temporary token, right? If you just need a token for like a week for something and then you delete it again, might as well recover those little bit of Sol rent exemption fees. Mod. No idea what that is. To me that sounds like that is responsible for handling some extensions, get extension, initialize account extension from type. So maybe that's responsible for, you know, setting all the, yeah, there are the extension types. That's responsible for handling all of that, I suppose. It's just some logic to handle the accounts, which are now a bit more complicated to set up, obviously. And what he told me is that the token program is just a subset of the new token program. So I guess they're gonna be compatible, but then it's a different program, this one. So that's still... we will see. We'll see. We will see what's gonna happen there and how wallets actually display those new tokens. I'm not gonna go through those 1600 lines of code. I'm gonna continue my overview of what else there is. Non-transferable, as the name would suggest, makes a token not be transferable. Why the hell would you use that? Well, to put a flag on a wallet or some shit, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. To just hand out a certificate that shouldn't be, you know, transferable anymore. It's pretty much the same thing as if you would freeze it, just that you cannot unfreeze it anymore, right? So put it there so the tokens will stay in the token account that you minted into, because you can't transfer them. Easy as that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty simple extension. Ha! Who would have thought? It is a pretty simple extension. So we just set the extension type to non-transferable. Is that it? And reallocate is probably another just whatever stuff to change extensions. Maybe you can do that, I'm not sure. Just a helper function, I guess. Extend an account if it's not big enough or too big. Okay, so essentially those are the things that are already implemented and that you could, well, except for the confidential, that doesn't work yet. The rest should already work. Yet, disclaimer, might not be backwards compatible, because also this stuff is not audited yet. And they're waiting with the official release, like I mean, it is on mainnet, but the official release will only be once it's audited and whatever they find will be fixed. So they don't guarantee that it's backwards compatible. So if you create a token with that token program now, it might create a fork and not be compatible anymore. So don't use it for production, just use it for playing around, which is what we're gonna do now. Next to the Rust stuff, there is also the TypeScript part that we can have a look into. So the same extensions here are already in the TypeScript library as well. So we have the Immutable Owner, Mint Close Authority, No Transfer, Transfer Fee, Memo Transfer, Interest Bearing Account, Default State. We won't go through all of them today. Maybe through the most interesting one. Arguably, they're all interesting, but let's try just to do the one with a transfer fee, because that's just fun, right? And that's what people want to see. So we have the state. So there's a transfer fee. Oh, you can define the first epoch where a transfer fee takes effect. Interesting. You can define a maximum fee on transfers. So if you have big transfers, that is capped, I guess. So, I mean, the documentation is all in there anyway, so what else do you need? And then transfer fee basis points in hundreds of percent, because basis points, how much should be collected in fees. Okay, cool. And then the config, that's probably where we say where those fee goes to. The authority to change the fees, probably. Yeah, to set the fee. So we can dynamically set fees. Withdraw from mint must be signed by this key. Okay, so because the fees will probably go to this account, and then to withdraw them from here, we have authority that can do that, obviously. Okay, so that's the amount then, how many have been moved there. So I guess that's stored in here, in the config. Does it make sense? All the transfer fee used if the current epoch is smaller than the new epoch. Okay, so it's always changed per epoch, I guess, and so you might still want to use the old transfer fee for the current epoch, and then the new transfer fee set or something. But essentially it's just, we have a transfer fee. That's a transfer fee, so this is this, right? So this is when it starts, the maximum fee and the transfer fee. So each of those, of course, is one of those. Okay, that's just an interface, it's not accounts yet. Yeah, so with our transfer fee tokens that can be collected by the fee authority. Transfer fee amount. So that's where it's then stored, how much. Right, and then we have a get and we have another get. Cool, so that's the state. Look at the instructions. To do docs. We have the initialize transfer fee. Create initialize transfer fee config instruction. That's the initialize transfer fee config instruction is the instruction, and the create creates the instruction. So this returns an instruction. Ha! Who would have thought? And it the program ID is the token 2022 program ID. Yeah, I really hope that they rename it at some point. Like, they wanted to release it in January, and they've been pushing in January a lot, but then had to wait for other parties because they might need a stablecoin or some shit. That's why it's still not released. Anyhow, if they release it in 2023, I hope they change the name. And also, I hope they change the name to something else, like the Extended Token Program, XTP, or ETP, or whatever. But, you know, I don't like a year number in here. It's just weird. Also, 2022 is just a mouthful. Oh, speaking of mouthful. Initialize transfer fee config instruction. Create withdrawal without tokens from mint instruction. Yeah, so there are a bunch of instructions that we can use to set this stuff up. Now, if we don't know how we use those instructions, one thing we can do is go here again and then check out the tests. The end-to-end for the 2022 token. And here, transfer fee test. This will show us how it's supposed to be used, or like it does some testing, and for testing it uses the stuff so we see how it is being used, and that can be super helpful. So we set up a connection, we set up a payer, we have a transfer fee authority, and we have a withdrawal without authority. And then before each we create a new mint authority key pair, and we make a new transaction where we create the account from the mint key pair. So this is the token address, the mint, this one, the public key of that key pair. So with the system program we just create the account, then we initialize transfer config instruction, okay, with those basis points, max fee, and that's the token program 2022, I guess. And then create an initialize mint instruction. That's as we know it from the token program already. But yeah, before we initialize the mint, we create the initialize transfer fee config. It's just another instruction in our transaction, and then we send that transaction. Yep, we create an account, we mint to, and then we transfer checked. So essentially, that's what we'll need to do. So let's do it. How do I import SPL in the newest version that has this? Version 0.2. Last published 5 months ago. Ooh, if I use that, then it's probably not gonna be the newest version. Guess we have to use the one from the source, actually. But we can install Solana Web 3. Hold on, is there a CLI for this already? No. This and this, I think, is hiding inside this thing anyway. Yeah, as I said, that's inside the create mint. That's exactly that. create account from the system program and then create an initialize mint. The only thing that is different now is that we also do the create initial transfer fee config instruction in the middle. Let's create an authority. And then let's create a transfer fee token. It's getting louder in here. There we go. Transfer fee token. This will be my key pair, and then this guy. Then I load both. One is the signer, signer and authority and everything. So that's just my wallet. Let's create a token. And we don't do it with the SPL token because that is the old program. We have to manually do this. Maybe we should, just so we have some salt to burn. Okay, the first thing we will need here is to find out how big the extension needs to be, because we need to put that, obviously, to allocate the account we need to know how much we need to allocate. Then we calculate the rent exemption balance for that space. We grab the mint. This stuff we will just need to get from here, right? The extension type we need to include. We will import that part from absolute paths because we can. Not because it's nice, but eventually this will emerge in the SPL-Token thing anyway. So anyway, we'll just use it like that now. We have the get length from in here, so we can just use that. Get length, perfect. Then we check how much lamperts we need for that and put them in there. Then the signer, I called it, public key. Import that from Solana Web3, please. Thank you. Add a transaction as well. Okay, now my program, I will use that. I will use this program. So that's in constants. Do you find that in constants? Yeah. Then this thing is also in here. So what does this need now? This is the interesting part. Right, so it needs the token mint, then the transfer fee config authority, I'm gonna take myself again. The withdraw authority, I'm gonna take myself again. The basis points is a number, maximum fee. Okay, so I'm gonna just take myself here. Just take myself here. Fee basis points, I'm gonna take 1% because that's easy. Maximum fee, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we go with 9 decimals, how do you make a big number? And also this program. Oh yeah, the program ID here is the owner of the account, right? Public key of the program to assign as the owner of the created account. Yeah, sweet. Then here I again call the token program and then create initialize mint instruction. Again has the mint token decimals. Do we go with the standard default 9 mint authority? It's gonna be, just put my signer everywhere. And again with the token program 2022. Cool, and then we send that transaction out. Quick fix that, or actually the better quick fix is that. With a connection, with a transaction, and then the 2 signers. So the token key needs to sign as well because we create that account. Yeah, and that will create us, hopefully, our token. What we get back here is a string. It's probably just a TXT. So let's print that out. If it's successful, it's gonna call this. And let's see if it actually works. TS node. Boom. Okay, never works on first try. Sometimes works on first try. Require is not off. Always this stupid require. Is that how you write it? I don't know TypeScript. Come on, what is this? I literally don't know what the problem is here. Or remove type module from the package JSON. Okay, let's do that. That sounds easier. Okay, let's try that. Module not found. Yeah, no shit. Can't find module. Oh man. I kind of want to just go bother someone who knows more than me. I asked the guy, he also has no idea, so Maybe I just need to install some stuff. Nope, same issue. But in positive news, that is here now, so I could run that. TS is an unknown file extension. Man, I don't want to play around with TypeScript. I want to play around with the token program. Oh, maybe I just did npm install, not yarn install.
I mean, the easier would be to just copy the source folder. It's not very clean, but it should do the trick, I guess. You basically duplicate the code in your source folder. Can you show me your TS config? Oh, you don't need the JSX React. That line here, you don't need it. Yeah, we don't need the tag option, but we have a module. Where's next? Oh yeah, can you try to use command GS? Oh, it works.
That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but it's running now.
Yeah, it's
okay,
correct.
perfect. Nice. Now I just have an import cannot find module, so that's already much more helpful because we included that from somewhere.
Okay.
I don't have all the things installed that the
this
because the nodes that are installed there is not here anymore, but that I can figure out now. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to sun again. Now, thanks to the help of Tipo, we now have a different error. Look at that, a different error. The light is really not good here though. Can I now just import it like I did earlier? No. Okay, first of all I need to have it in the same folder. So I just copied the source code in here. But now I need to include all the stuff that this one includes. Like all of those dependencies. Oh, it's not that many. But I'm gonna just take those dependencies and put them into mine. Then I don't know, npm install. Looks good, looks good. But we're running, first time that we're actually running the script, so that's good. We can't create a token, but we're running the script. Connection refused. Well, I have never had that. That devnet just says, piss off. Let's just do it again. And see if we're more lucky this time. Let's create a transfer. No, connection refused. 443. HTTP 443. Oh, come on, don't French on me. Requires HTTPS. We found this once before. There. Let's try that. Maybe Django will help me out. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I mean, the longer I have to wait, the more confident I am that it's actually working. Boom! Boom! Look at that, we have a signature. Nice. Let's check that out. We did something with the Token Program 2022. Oh no, we did not. Oh, because hold on. Devnet, of course. Yes. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, it's already getting late. So, we paid for a token mint account. That's my transfer fee token, and we had the three things. We create the account. Apparently we need 278 bytes. Unknown program. So that's the Token Program 2022. So far still as an unknown program in the Explorer. And then we initialize mint. Oh wait, that's on the Token Program again though. So the Token Program 2022 uses the Token Program for initialize mint, or I mean, I make those transactions, right? So maybe that's my mistake. But no, it's also from unknown program, yeah. It's also invoking this. Okay, I mean, let's just assume that worked. And we continue. So now that we've created the token, we don't need that anymore. Let's mint some. Source account, connection, signer. The mint, we had this thing. I mean, might as well make that public. We don't build a nice script here, we just want to build a working script. And then signer, undefined, and maybe the new token program. And then we mint with the connection again. I pay the mint, this source account. Mint authority is again me mint amount 42 because why not that program? Okay, let's mint some. Okay, fair enough. Cannot send because incorrect program ID for instruction. Is that from the program itself? Is that simulation failed? Yeah, program A token. Oh, associated. Oh, wait. So the associated token, right? So the associated token program, there, associated token program ID. Right, let's go there then. This is my problem. That here it uses the old associated token program. We're gonna change that. Where is that? Does that not change in the 2022? Maybe it doesn't even change. Maybe that's the same. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna have some food. And we might continue later. The associated token program has an implementation for token 2022. Maybe that's just not implemented on devnet. I just talked to John, and it is actually the case that the associated token program is not yet updated on devnet or mainnet. So you can't really use the new token program because you can't make a token account. No, that doesn't work. Well, wait, we can make a normal token account, not associated one. So, since I can't create an associated token account, because the associated token account program is not updated yet, because it's not audited, I can't do that. I just gotta do, the rest. So, we just don't do that. So, we just gotta provide a key pair here. So, we just do that. Instead of nothing, we provide a key pair. Token account key that I loaded myself here. Because why not? So if we save that, let's see if we can run it. Let's mint some. Yes! Okay. We got the public key from the account, so the account was created. And we don't get an error, and I forgot to, print the result of that. But that's okay. That's okay. We just look it up. We just look it up in an Explorer. Check this out. So, it's an account that was initialized. There were 2 transactions on it. So, the first one just initializes the token account, as you would with the new token program. Create account, initialize account. Easy. And then the other one, here we just paid for a transaction and we called the mint2 mint 42 tokens. I'm the mint authority, this is the mint, this is the account. That's the token. That's pretty sweet. It doesn't see that as a token account because it's not a token program account. It belongs to the new token program, so it won't tell me how many tokens are in there. But we have minted some tokens. Let's try and send them.
Where are you going tonight for the party?
Just the transfer checked. Yeah, okay. Connection, payer, source, mint, destination, owner, amount, decimals, multi-signers, confirm options, program ID. Pretty simple. And that just creates a new transaction with create transfer checked instruction. And then sends that. Simple. So, source account is token account key, public key. The mint is this. Destination account. Okay, we also need to create a destination account first. Destination. It's getting longer and longer, eh? Destination account. Create account, connection signer, destination account key. And then we have the public key. The owner is again the signer. Transfer amount. Let's make it easy. 1 token. Okay. Oh wait. But 1 token I need to do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because it has 9 decimals. Then we take this again. What's the last 2? Okay, no multi-signers, no confirm options, okay? And then this time I store this and print this. Okay, let's try this. Send it! No! Insufficient funds. Are we talking SOL or are we talking which transaction failed? Okay, so the account creation went through. Yeah, that went through. But then sending the tokens did not go through. Let's see what happens if I send 1 instead. I mean, I do put in the decimals, so it could theoretically calculate that. Let's try that again. Now, yeah, now this will fail, but that's okay. I know what that is because I can't create the destination account again. So I will just not do that. I mean, I could now read if it exists and then do a check, but I just comment it out because I just want to quickly get some stuff working, and I'm not going to use the script for any productive stuff anyway, so let's just test it. Okay, save that again and try one more time. Send it! Nice! Check that out. We have sent one token. We've spent the transaction fee for one transaction. Those are the accounts. We do a transfer checked, and that's all we see. Damn it! Because obviously the Explorer doesn't, you know, neatly display that. So we have no way of neatly seeing what actually happened. Now we can't really tell if it even worked. Because we can't really check how much is in the... Oh man. See, the Explorer doesn't support it yet. Guess we need to manually read state then. Print amount for a public key for destination account. Alright, so how do we get access to that info now? Something with fetch, wasn't it? Get account info, the first one, I know it was the first one. Get account info, token account. So in the data, now we need to look that up again. So amount is the after an address, another address, and another address. So that's 3 times 32, I think. Read big in little NDN with an offset of 3 times 32. Ha! No! No! I have done this before. Offset in bytes is 8 times 8. Why 8 times 8? 8 times 8 is 64. So that's just 2 addresses then. Maybe it's just 2 addresses in front. Let's check that. Ooh! Look at that. Ah! 41 and 0. Okay, I get it. Okay. We're not talking tokens here. We're talking Lampardish tokens, right? And because there's just one thing transferred, it took 100% as the fee. So now the question is, where did it go? And that's gonna get even more complicated to find out because now we need to find out where it's stored. Let's go in the Rust part again. This is the safest space to look. I think I can't be bothered to find out where it is stored. This is gonna get complicated because it's the extension. So let's ignore where that one thing went and work with a higher number. Let's mint some more, but like properly with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that this time I actually have 42 tokens. So let's mint some again. Alright. Now, this is not up to date because this is not finalized. But if we wait a second, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 30, and then run it again, then we see, there we go. Do you see that? Now we have actually 42 tokens and a little bit of dust at the end. So if we now do the send with the proper 1 token, as I would have expected to have to do this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I now send it again, oh, and I should maybe await. Anyway, the problem is I don't even have an await here. That's another problem. And I don't wait for finalization. But see, it checks before it's even sent. That went through, but the transaction itself won't tell us much. We'll have to wait and then check state again. No, not send it again. Damn it, I think I might have sent twice now. But doesn't matter, we'll check. There we go. Yep, I have sent twice. I have sent twice, because now they are just 40 and not 42. And here I have 1.98. So twice 0.99. Because the 1% was going to the transfer fee that I defined up here at the initialized transfer fee config instruction. 100 basis points. So this thing is working. This thing is working, yo. It's not supported by the explorers, And so we can't really properly use it for anything but we have to very much build everything ourselves. But yeah, that's a demo for the transfer fee token mint. And I think with that, I definitely want to leave it now. We have a success. We managed to do this. And I didn't have like the 1%, like in the transfer looks like a normal transfer, right? You don't really see at the transfer itself that I'm doing anything specific here. It's just a transfer checked for the token program. And the token program automatically does the transfer fee. So cool. Alright, cool. And with that, I say cheers, and I'll see you in the next video. Well, first let's go on that terrace one more time to make an end, because I already recorded it earlier, because I'm an amazing person. This was just a quick little introduction to the Token Program 2022. I showed you what there will be. You probably don't want to use that anyway yet, because it's not audited and it's not officially released. But I did want to mention it just in case you want to create something like that. Like if you wanted to create a token that has transfer fees, worry not, that's coming. You don't need to do your own thing on that. You can, but you don't need to if you want to wait a few more months. No guarantees. Just a quick little update from Paris Hacker House. Yeah. I will see you at the demo day. Go check out those videos, and I will keep you updated about the status of the token program. And also Metaplex, because they introduced the burn NFT something. We will look at that as well. So yeah, interesting stuff coming up. Make sure you subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in the next one.